Hi, today we're going to talk about being a performing board member. I think we all want to bring a real value to the board we join. So we developed a small workshop to discuss about how we can really best perform on the board we recently joined. The first thing is to make sure that once we've been elected, we are formally registered. So just check with your colleague, your chair or the secretary of the board that all the paperwork have been filled and you can officially act as a board member. Before you join a board, probably you did a first light due diligence. Of course, we may have had several meetings before joining a board, and it's not always easy to gather all sort of information that are very important for you to act as a board member. So once you are elected, you have access to some information. You may ask about shareholder agreements and try to better understand the purpose of the company and the shareholder structure and the shareholder that are in place and the different forces that are playing among the shareholders. Of course, you have access to all documents such as the bylaws, the organization rules, everything which is linked to board matters. So it is important that you read these things before you start acting as a board member, because it will give you a lot of information about the board functioning and what is in the power of the shareholder or what is in the power of the board. Of course, if there is a shareholder agreement, there may be some elements that are linked to shareholder matters and that you have to be aware of. Now that you were elected, you may decide to conduct a little bit of a deeper assessment to really make sure that the key topics are under control. So you may want to go deeper in the financial system. You want to maybe better understand all the legal and regulation aspects. If there is any court case, if there is any conflict. You may ask about the commercial strategy, the sales, how does the sales work? You may ask questions about HR, salary, social charge, everything which is related to the contract of the employees. So all these things that you want to know as a board member under the due diligence. Once this made, you may receive answer or may not. So it's always a sign. And then it's time to meet your colleagues. So if the next board meeting is in 2 or 3 months, why don't you try to have a meeting with your future colleague before this? Always a good way to get know each other and to have the opportunity to discuss before the next board meeting. Of course, we always encourage to avoid to have sides discussion between board members before meetings, but in this case, it's your introduction, so maybe you may ask as well if there is any introductory program, so you make sure that you get the maximum information before starting doing your job. Once this made, we truly think it is important to meet the teams, to meet the company, to go on company premises. So I'm always surprised when I hear we never met the new board member, never came to visit us. So I think it is important. In most of the board I joined, we had a special program, an induction program, and then the board member goes there, meet with the team. There's a lunch usually with the team. So very important to get to know each other. Once this is done, maybe you have now the first board meeting. So make sure you have read previous board minutes. So you have the right, of course, to ask for the minutes that were taken before you joined this board, and it would be probably very interesting for you to read several minutes to better understand the type of topics that are covered, the dynamic of the board. So, and then you get prepared for the first meeting. It is all about contribution. You want to make sure that you bring the best possible contributions. So it is important as well that you get prepared in advance. So why don't you make sure you read the documents that have been sent to you, and make sure you can be prepared for the first board meeting that you will join. And then about contribution, of course, everybody has special skills. So why don't you join a subcommittee or any special commission that you can help with your specific experience or expertise. Now, once this is done, you had your first board meetings, you had the first understanding about the company dynamic, the company board, the shareholder. You will make your own opinion, of course. You will learn by doing, learn by meeting people. And then the question is, do you like what you see? Are you feeling at ease? What sort of dynamic you have in the board? Is it driven by the funders? Is it driven by investor? Is it driven by the first CEO? So all these questions are very interesting behind all the business aspects. And it is important that you forge your own opinion and you feel at ease in this board, and you decide if you get what you were expected. You can really bring a strong contribution, and you liked what you see. You feel that the answers that were given to you are satisfactory. So we are looking forward to go deeper in all these aspects and meet you for our next workshop about performing board.